What if I told you that a handful of the wrong nuts could increase your risk of heart disease by nearly 48%, especially if you're a senior? That number isn't just for shock value. It's based on years of research published in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology. And here's the scary part. Some of the most common nuts, the ones sitting in our kitchen cabinets right now, can quietly raise blood pressure, fuel inflammation, clog arteries, and even contribute to cognitive decline. Yet so many of us eat them every day, thinking we're making a healthy choice. There's one specific nut, which I'll reveal later, that has been linked to a poisonous substance that when eaten regularly can damage your liver, kidneys, and even your brain. It's probably in your snack drawer right now, the very same one that health gurus often praise. But for an aging body, it could be causing irreversible harm. Don't worry though, we've got your back. In this video, we're going to give you the ultimate guide to nuts for seniors, which ones to avoid at all costs, and which ones are the absolute best for your heart, your brain, and your bones. Make sure you stick around to the very end because the dark truth about the #1 most dangerous nut is something very few people talk about, and it could be damaging your health without you even knowing it. Before we start, if you find this helpful, please give this video a like and subscribe for more content that looks out for your health. Also, let us know in the comments where you're watching from. All right, let's get into it. Here are the 4 best nuts that seniors should be eating, starting with number 4. Number 4. Almonds, the bone-strengthening powerhouse. For an aging body, almonds are one of the best foods you can eat. They are packed with calcium and vitamin E, a dynamic duo for keeping your bones strong. As we get older, our bones naturally become more porous and brittle, making fractures a serious concern. After age 65, this natural bone loss speeds up. But eating just a 1/4 cup of almonds a day can help slow that process by giving you about 97 milligrams of calcium. But what makes almonds truly special isn't just the calcium, it's the magnesium. Many seniors are deficient in this mineral, and it acts like a traffic cop for calcium, guiding it to your bones where it belongs instead of letting it build up in your arteries where it can cause damage. Almonds also contain healthy monounsaturated fats that help lower bad LDL cholesterol, which is crucial as heart disease risk increases with age. For seniors, I recommend a daily serving of about 15 to 20 almonds, ideally raw or dry roasted without salt. Plus, with about 3.5 grams of fiber per serving, almonds are a fantastic weapon against constipation, an issue that affects nearly 40% of seniors. And on top of all that, research from Tufts University shows almonds can help protect your brain cells from oxidative damage, a major concern as we age. For an extra boost, look for almonds with the skin on. The flavonoids in the skin work with the vitamin E to double the antioxidant power. One quick warning, for seniors who have trouble swallowing, almonds can be a choking hazard, so please be sure to chew them thoroughly. Number 3, walnuts, the brain-boosting nut. Walnuts stand out as one of the ultimate brain foods for seniors, and they even look the part, resembling a tiny brain. These incredible nuts are the best plant-based source of an omega-3 fatty acid called alpha-linolenic acid, or ALA, that you can find in any common nut. This is incredibly important for the senior brain because omega-3s help with neurotransmission and keep the membranes of our brain cells healthy and flexible. A recent study in the Journal of Nutrition found that seniors who ate just 1.5 ounces of walnuts a day for 8 weeks showed significant improvements in how fast they could process information and in their mental flexibility. Walnuts also contain unique compounds called polyphenols, which can cross the blood-brain barrier to fight inflammation directly in your neural tissues. This may help slow the development of neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's and dementia. Here's something many people don't know. Walnuts also contain melatonin. As we age, our natural melatonin levels decline, which can lead to sleep problems. Some people find that eating a handful of walnuts before bed helps them get a much better night's rest. Walnuts are also fantastic for heart health. They contain arginine, an amino acid that helps blood vessels function properly, and polyphenols that reduce oxidative stress. In fact, for seniors already on blood pressure medication, walnuts can actually enhance the effects by helping to keep arteries flexible. For the best results, try to eat about 7 to 9 walnut halves daily. To keep their delicate oils from going rancid, store them in the refrigerator. And for an added bonus, cracking them yourself is a great little exercise to keep your fine motor skills sharp. Don't be put off by their slightly bitter taste. That bitterness is actually a sign of their powerful antioxidants at work. Number 2, pistachios, the blood pressure regulator. When it comes to nuts for senior health, pistachios might just be the most underrated champion, especially for managing blood pressure. What makes pistachios so special is their unique mineral balance. They're low in sodium and high in potassium, with about 285 milligrams per serving. This is vital for seniors because it helps the kidneys excrete salt, a process that becomes less efficient as we age. This can lower your systolic blood pressure by 3 to 5 points, similar to some prescription medications, but without the side effects. We also have to highlight the lutein and zeaxanthin in pistachios. These are carotenoids that concentrate in the macula of your eye, protecting against age-related macular degeneration, which is the leading cause of vision loss in people over 60. Their unique green and purple colors aren't just pretty. They signal the presence of antioxidants that help neutralize free radicals throughout the body, slowing down the aging process. And for seniors who may have dental work or weaker teeth, pistachios have a satisfying crunch without being as hard as some other nuts. One of the best things about pistachios is their practicality. The very act of shelling them naturally slows you down, which prevents overeating and creates a mindful eating experience that can be both calming and stimulating for your brain. The International Journal of Obesity even reported that the empty shells serve as a visual cue, helping you better manage how much you're eating. If you have arthritis in your hands, look for pistachios that are already partially opened. Aim for about 49 pistachios a day, which is roughly 1 ounce, and choose unsalted or lightly salted. For the 25% of Americans over 65 who have diabetes or prediabetes, the 3 grams of fiber per ounce is also incredibly helpful for managing blood sugar levels.
Number 1, Brazil nuts, the thyroid healer. We've ranked Brazil nuts as number 1 because they address a crucial yet often overlooked aspect of healthy aging, thyroid function. These remarkable nuts are the single richest food source of selenium known to man. Just one nut contains about 96 micrograms, which is 137% of your daily requirement. This is extremely important because up to 20% of people over 65 suffer from thyroid disorders, and many cases go undiagnosed because the symptoms, like fatigue and mood changes, are often mistaken for normal signs of aging. The selenium in Brazil nuts is essential for activating thyroid hormone, which governs your metabolism, energy levels, and mood. Beyond the thyroid, the special fatty acids in Brazil nuts help maintain myelin, the protective sheath around your nerve cells. This sheath can degrade with age, but maintaining it can help seniors preserve their reflexes, reaction times, and cognitive processing speed. What's interesting is that the selenium in Brazil nuts is organically bound, making it much easier for your body to absorb and use compared to the synthetic selenium found in supplements. Brazil nuts are so potent that you only need 1 or 2 to get the benefits, and their rich, creamy texture makes even a small amount feel satisfying. In fact, I strongly advise seniors to eat no more than 1 or 2 Brazil nuts per day. An overload of selenium can have negative effects. When you buy them, try to get them in their shells, as this natural packaging preserves their nutrients longer. Because of their high fat content, store them in the fridge to prevent them from going bad. And as an added bonus for seniors dealing with constipation, the combination of fiber and natural oils help maintain bowel regularity. And here's the most amazing new research. Some antioxidants in Brazil nuts may help slow the natural shortening of telomeres. Think of telomeres as the protective caps on your chromosomes. They naturally shrink as we age, and this process is linked to cellular aging. For anyone 65 or older, these are the powerhouse nuts you need. Now, let's get into the nuts that some seniors may want to avoid or eat with extreme caution. Number 4 on the avoid list, peanuts, the inflammatory trigger. Despite being an American classic, Peanuts are surprisingly problematic for many seniors. First, it's important to know that peanuts aren't technically nuts. They are legumes that grow underground. This makes them susceptible to mold and aflatoxins, which are mycotoxins that can harm the liver and increase cancer risk with frequent consumption. As we age, our body's detoxification systems become less efficient, making this risk even greater. Even more concerning for seniors is that peanuts contain proteins that can trigger an inflammatory response in many people, even without a full-blown allergy. For aging individuals already dealing with joint pain, cardiovascular stress, or cognitive decline, this low-grade inflammation can make everything worse. Peanuts are also very high in omega-6 fatty acids. Most Americans already have an imbalanced ratio with far too much omega-6 compared to anti-inflammatory omega-3s, and peanuts contribute to this problem. Many doctors also fail to warn their older patients about a critical interaction. The vitamin K in peanuts can interfere with blood thinners like warfarin, which is a very common medication for seniors. And when you look at commercial peanut butters, these problems are magnified by added hydrogenated oils, extra sodium, and sugars, all terrible for an aging cardiovascular system. Another hidden issue is that peanuts, if it aren't stored properly, they can go rancid and produce harmful free radicals. The common practice of dry roasting also creates acrylamide, a chemical with potential cognitive degrading effects, which is especially concerning for anyone worried about memory loss. Even if you've eaten peanuts your whole life without issue, consider swapping them out for one of our recommended nuts just 3 days a week. It will help you lower your exposure to these risks while getting better nutrients. Number 3 on the avoid list, cashews, the hidden sugar spiker. Cashews pose a unique risk to seniors because of their surprisingly high carbohydrate content and glycemic impact. Compared to true tree nuts, cashews have more carbs, about 9 grams per ounce, and fewer protective fibers and nutrients. This triggers a blood sugar response that can be dangerous for the 25% of people over 65 with diabetes and 48% with pre-diabetes. This is especially worrisome because cashews have a healthy reputation, so many seniors eat them in large amounts without considering the blood sugar effect. Their smooth, curved shape also make them a significant choking hazard, and they're one of the most commonly aspirated nuts among seniors. Nutritionally, cashews are also high in oxalates. These are compounds that can bind to calcium in your gut, preventing its absorption. For seniors already at risk for osteoporosis, this is a major problem. These same oxalates also dramatically increase the risk of developing kidney stones, a risk that already rises after the age of 60. There's another hidden issue in how cashews are processed. They require extensive steaming to remove urushiol, a toxic compound also found in poison ivy. This process strips them of much of their nutritional value. Many store-bought versions are then oil roasted and heavily salted, adding unhealthy fats and sodium that worsen blood pressure and heart strain. Many people don't know this, but cashews also contain enzyme inhibitors that can interfere with protein digestion, which is particularly bad for seniors who often already struggle with nutrient absorption. And their creamy texture make them very easy to overeat, potentially contributing to weight gain at a stage of life where managing weight is already a challenge. Swapping cashews for walnuts or almonds is a much safer and more nutritious choice. Number 2 on the avoid list, macadamia nuts, the calorie-dense health risk. Despite their delicious, buttery flavor, macadamia nuts are a major health risk for seniors simply because of their extreme calorie density. They're the most calorie-dense nut out there, with around 200 calories per ounce. Since metabolic rates naturally decline with age, This makes the already difficult task of managing weight even harder. Their incredibly high fat content, about 22 grams per ounce, also puts stress on the gallbladder, which becomes less efficient as we age. For the 15% of seniors with asymptomatic gallstones, a handful of macadamias could trigger a painful attack. Beyond the calories, macadamias are also one of the highest nuts in saturated fat, with about 3 grams per ounce. This can raise LDL cholesterol levels, something many seniors are already trying to manage. Their hardness and density also pose a serious threat to dental health, especially for seniors with crowns, bridges, or weakened teeth. And practically, they're one of the most expensive nuts, which might lead budget-conscious seniors to buy cheaper, improperly stored versions that are more likely to be rancid and contain harmful oxidized fats. It's concerning that many seniors eat macadamias thinking they are good for their heart, but the research showing heart benefits from nuts has largely focused on other nuts, not high-fat ones like macadamias. If you've been enjoying macadamias, consider switching to pistachios, which have a far superior nutritional profile for an aging body.
Number 1 on the avoid list, pine nuts, the dangerous medication disruptor. Pine nuts are, without a doubt, one of the most troublesome nuts for the elderly for several reasons that are especially acute for this age group. The most alarming issue is that they contain compounds that can interfere with common prescription medications. Since over 60% of seniors take multiple prescriptions, this is a huge red flag. They can reduce the effectiveness or introduce harmful side effects with drugs like statins, certain antidepressants, and blood pressure medications. Most doctors and pharmacists never warn their patients about this food-drug interaction. The most bizarre and worrisome problem is pine nut syndrome. This condition causes a bitter, metallic taste in the mouth that can last for weeks after eating the nuts. While it might sound minor, it can have a devastating impact on seniors, as taste alterations are linked to decreased appetite and poor nutrition. Research shows that up to 42% of those affected experience significant weight loss. This syndrome also appears to be more common in the elderly, possibly due to age-related changes in taste receptors. Pine nuts are also high in polyunsaturated fats that can go rancid very quickly, creating inflammatory compounds that are bad for anyone dealing with conditions like arthritis. Their small, slippery texture makes them a serious aspiration risk, especially for seniors who suffer from dry mouth, a side effect for over 70% of those on multiple medications. At a time when the body's ability to absorb protein naturally declines, the enzyme inhibitors in pine nuts can further block this crucial process. And new research is even pointing to compounds in some pine nut varieties as a potential accelerator of age-related macular degeneration, the leading cause of vision loss in seniors. After the age of 65, these are 4 nuts you should seriously consider avoiding. The dietary choices you make, which nuts to eat and which to avoid, can have a profound impact on your health, vitality, and brain function in your later years. Remember, it's the small changes applied consistently that lead to huge results over time. Now it's your turn to share. Have you noticed how changing your diet, like adding or removing certain nuts, has affected your health? Which nut on our list surprised you the most? Share your thoughts and stories in the comments below. We truly value your input.